and welcome to Saint Lucia Magazine, your weekly roundup of the nation's top stories in education, the economy, infrastructure, agriculture, and more. I am your host, Kishma Seri. In this week's edition, the Government of Saint Lucia provides updates on the construction of Saint Lucia's Halls of Justice, and construction work progresses on the National Aquatic Facility. We begin this recap with details on the construction of St. Lucia's Halls of Justice.
Construction work on the Halls of Justice, a landmark national development designed to modernize and consolidate St. Lucia's judicial system, has begun. The purpose-built facility will, for the first time, house the civil, criminal, and family courts, along with registries, judges and magistrates' chambers, a lawyer's lounge, and modern amenities for staff and visitors. Delivered through a build, own, lease, transfer model, the EC $143 million project represents the largest single investment in the judiciary in the Eastern Caribbean. John Peters, a director of the developer Themis, explains.
Essentially what the developer does is that he takes full responsibility for the design. He takes full responsibility for the financing of the project, full responsibility for the construction of the project, and then when the project is completed, the project is leased back to the government over a period of time. In this case, it's 12 years, and at the end of the 12-year period, there's a full transfer of the facility. So it is not a rental arrangement as may have been suggested. It is a lease arrangement in which with every payment of the lease, there's an equity as it were built by the government until such time as the 48 lease payments are made.
Jabari Carmichael, design coordinator, explained that the facility will cover more than 100,000 square feet across two sites in Castries.
The main building will be located on the corner of Laborie Street and William Peter Boulevard. And to the south of that, it will be connected to an annex building on the corner of Miko Street and Laborie Street, facilitated by a sky bridge crossing the West Hall Lane.
Health, safety, and sustainability are also central to the project. Neville Bartholomew, Health, Safety, and Environmental Officer, said at peak employment, local workers will make up over 40% of the project workforce.
We'll also promote a positive reporting culture where workers are encouraged to report on safe conditions or potential hazards without fear of reprisal. At peak, I must know this, at project peak, our workforce will consist of over 40% local workers, demonstrating our commitment to community engagement, local employment, and shared responsibility for safety.
Upon completion, the Halls of Justice will improve governance by offering a practical and contemporary space for the delivery of justice. From the Government Information Service, Rojvaro Lawrence reporting.
In related developments, as construction work progresses on St. Lucia's National Aquatic Facility, Sports Minister Honorable Kinson Casimir discussed plans for developing the sport of swimming on the island. Nival Ogis has the details.
Construction work is progressing on St. Lucia's National Aquatic Facility. Honorable Kinson Casimir, Minister for Youth Development and Sports, says work on the foundation of the Olympic-sized pool is advancing, with major milestones expected by the end of September.
We currently have work ongoing. If you pass near the facility, you would see work on the foundation of the 50-meter pool. We would have by the end of September some really definitive work on the actual pool area. And so we're expecting for significant progress before the end of this year.
The minister also revealed plans for a 25-meter pool in Viewfort to expand access to swimming facilities across the island.
We do have a plan for establishing a 25-meter pool in Viewfort, so we can actually have a decentralized area for swimming. We do want to have a national swimming contest among secondary schools. That is pretty much the actual thrust to which we want swimming to develop.
Minister Casimir emphasized that the development of any sport must begin at the school level. He noted that similar to the Island Champs competition, the ministry is working towards eventually hosting a weekend event for swimming in order to develop the sporting discipline among aspiring athletes. From the Government Information Service, I am Nivalo Geist.
In more infrastructure news, while acknowledging the 16th anniversary of the destruction of St. Jude's, the Government of Saint Lucia announced that the hospital is largely completed.
16 years after a fire reduced St. Jude's Hospital to ruins, St. Lucia is poised for a landmark moment in public healthcare. Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jabatis, says construction on the new hospital is largely complete.
I'm very pleased that the long wait will be over very soon. The people of the South and the people of St. Lucia have waited for the complete rehabilitation of the St. Jude Hospital, and the end is very near. It has been a long road, and I'm very pleased that this road will come to an end very soon, and we will have a new beginning in a brand new facility, a rehabilitated facility, which is practically new. So I am excited, and I look forward to the opening of the St. Jude Hospital at the site here at Oji.
Lydia Atkins, Chief Executive Officer at St. Jude's Hospital, acknowledged the historical tragedy and the ministry's continued commitment to quality.
We give our continued pledge to the people of the South, and most importantly, my pledge to the staff of St. Jude Hospital, that we will never let the lessons learned on that day be in vain, or to let the memories of the individuals that we've lost in this fire to have been for naught. That we will continue to deliver on excellent care. And as we return to our home in Oji, it is the sense and expectation of an expansion of services to the people of the South, because you truly deserve nothing less than world-class care. And so today, as we honor the anniversary of the fire, it is to highlight the most powerful story of resilience, and to promise the people of the South that we are continuing our commitment to ensuring that St. Jude Hospital delivers to you on quality.
Jade Brown, Communications Officer at the Ministry of Health, says that there will be improved programs and services.
New and improved services include 100-bed capacity, larger emergency department with more treatment bays, minor injuries area, and improved isolation facilities. The addition of a CT scan, expanded laboratory and molecular testing and blood bank. In surgical services, there will be an increase from 2 to 3 theaters and enhanced minimally invasive surgery. Addition of ear, nose and throat, oncology and cardiology clinics. Expanded maternity unit and enhanced neonatal care with HDU and NICU. More dialysis stations, larger physiotherapy unit with an expanded scope of rehabilitative programs, expanded pharmacy and improved catering, laundry and maintenance.
The St. Jude Hospital was destroyed by fire on September 9, 2009. Estimated 70,000 people access care to St. Jude's. From the Government Information Service, I am Kishma Seri.
Still to come, the government proposes a rent-to-own program for vendors who utilize vending caravans. And government improves social support for women. Please stay with us.
When a hurricane threatens, St. Lucia is acting early. Through anticipatory action, families receive cash directly in their bank accounts and supermarket vouchers. This meant food, water, and essentials before the storm, not after. The simulation tested how fast support could reach 500 households. The lesson is clear. Early action saves time, protects dignity, and builds resilience. Together, we're making St. Lucia stronger before disaster strikes.
Welcome back. Small business owners at George V Park are set to gain greater financial independence as the government introduces a rent-to-own program for the vending caravans. Nivalo Geese has more.
Small business owners at George V Park will have increased financial independence with the introduction of a rent-to-own program for vending caravans. The initiative was announced by the Minister for Housing and Local Government, Honorable Richard Frederick. It differs from the original rent-only model by providing vendors with the opportunity to eventually own the caravans. Under the program, vendors will make rental payments for a defined period. Once payments are completed and contractual obligations are met, the ownership of the caravans will be transferred for a symbolic fee of $1.
Initially, we felt that we could have rented the caravans and do the general management, but we have come to the realization that in that manner we will not be empowering our people as much as we would like to. So what we are going to do, and we will have a press release pretty soon and probably invite the media to the launch of that. We will do rent to own, where we list to you for a certain period, after which we transfer to you for $1. So that will be the arrangement, and St. Lucians who will pay rent for those caravans will pay rent for a period of time, after which, as long as all payments are completed, all payments are made on time, and other contractual obligations are discharged with perfection, you will get title to your caravan absolutely free once you have paid your rent for a defined period of time.
The rent-to-own scheme is part of the administration's broader goal to promote entrepreneurship and boost economic independence among St. Lucians working in the informal sector. From the Government Information Service, I am Nivalo Geest.
2 abuse prevention agencies receive continued governmental support as St. Lucia works to improve the delivery of social services on the island.
The Government of Saint Lucia is providing support to 2 abuse prevention agencies in order to help improve operation efficiency and the quality of services provided to the public. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved an increase of the annual subvention to one of those agencies, the St. Lucia Crisis Center. The Minister for Gender Affairs, Honorable Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, spoke on the increase.
When we speak of crisis center, it's not supposed to be just for women. However, it's mostly women who access these services. And government, since they vacated the place where they were, they need to get a new location. And with a new board in place, they submitted a request to government. And government increased their subvention. The subvention that they used to get from government before was in the region of $72,000 a year. And that would assist in paying the rent and paying some staff support. At this point, as we speak, government increased that subvention by $168,000. So now the crisis center will be receiving to the tune of $240,000 from government, and they are going to get their own space. They are going to have increased staff, and this will help them attend to some of the needs of the people who have found themselves in domestic violence matters.
The other agency, the Women's Support Center, will be bolstered by expert advice within a transition committee. This will help with its transition into an independent organization or business. An annual subvention and housing continues to be provided by the government.
In addition to the crisis center, we have just established a transition committee for the Women's Support Center. And we actually did a review of the Women's Support Center that is completed. And that review recommended that we have a transition committee that will transit that Women's Support Center to either an organization or a business, and it has to be registered. The employees of the Women's Support Center actually approached the Department of Public Service, represented by the union. They are represented by the CSA, indicating that there are certain conditions that they were dissatisfied with, only to find out that this Women's Support Center should have been a private entity. It's not a government entity. Government would just give them a subvention every year to allow them to function. The building where they operate belongs to government. but they are not under the direct jurisdiction of the government. So with that transition, the recommendation coming out of the review is stating that we need to make them a separate organization and not a government department. And they are given 6 months within which to make that transition, and we look forward to seeing the success.
Government representatives on the transition committee include the Director of Gender Affairs, the Permanent Secretary in the Department of Gender, a representative of the police, a representative from the Attorney General's chambers, and other experts on gender-based violence. The Women's Support Center provides shelter for abuse victims, while the St. Lucia Crisis Center works to mitigate abuse by delivering counseling, education, and a range of supportive services. From the Government Information Service, I am Kishma Seri.
St. Lucia wins major accolades at the 2025 King's Trust Awards. The St. Lucia's team project revealed 94% positive outcome rate. Nivalo Geese tells us more.
St. Lucia's STEAM program, although still in its pilot phase, has already captured international recognition, winning both the Global Young Achiever Award and the Regional Sustainability Award at the 2025 King's Trust Awards. The initiative began in 2020 when the Royal St. Lucia Police Force reached out to the King's Trust International to forge a partnership that would support youth development on the island. The pilot finally launched in January 2023. The 12-week program targets young people ages 17 to 30, helping them build personal and social skills while preparing for jobs, education, or entrepreneurship. International Program Manager Nakiza Mazikini highlighted the results of the pilot review.
Our key findings, particularly for young people, is that we've seen a high transition into employment, or what we call at King's Trust International positive outcomes, which means that a young person either starts their own business or goes back into education or training of some kind, or moves into employment. And we've seen that our positive outcome rate is 94% across the 5 cohorts, and it was around 92% at the time of the pilot report. And so we've seen 100% of young people report improvement in at least one of those core skills not only within our pilot report, but across the 5 cohorts that we have delivered to date. And then we've also noted strong program satisfaction and increased life satisfaction and stronger career opportunities as a result of their involvement in the team program.
Superintendent Stephen Victorine also emphasized the broader impact of the program.
The focus of the program was to foster personal development in those young people and also to create skills, help them develop skills that they can gain employment as a means of crime prevention. Within 5 months after the program or completing the program, positive outcomes were reported for most of those young people.
The 12-week program is carefully structured to build participants' confidence, independence, and employability. Support continues 6 months after the program completion, ensuring that participants stay on track as they transition into their next chapter. From the Government Information Service, I am Nivalo Geist.
And when we come back, Sufra youth showcase their talents following a 5-day summer music camp.
Every bed in our hospitals tells a story of someone's mother, someone's brother, someone's friend. And when that story of care is complete, it's time for the next chapter, home. But too often, discharge patients are left waiting hours, days, weeks, sometimes months, not because they want to stay, but because no one comes. We understand life gets busy. But every extra day they wait means another patient, perhaps in pain, perhaps in crisis, can't get the bed they desperately need. So when the call comes that your loved one is ready, please be ready too. Pick them up, bring them back to the comfort of family, where healing truly continues. Because caring doesn't end at discharge, it continues with you. A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs.
The country's digital health systems will receive a boost following a data collection and analysis workshop that aims to improve the nation's ability to make evidence-based decisions. Onika McCoy has the details.
A diverse team of health professionals from across the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs has undergone specialized training aimed at strengthening St. Lucia's health information systems. The intensive 5-day workshop held at the Coco Palm Resort Conference Room sought to build capacity in data entry and visualization and effective use of the District Health Information Software DHIS2 platform. The training was designed to sharpen technical competencies while enhancing the ministry's ability to generate, analyze, and apply data to guide evidence-based decision-making. The workshop was supported by the Pan American Health Organization PAHO, with funding channeled through the Pandemic Fund to the Eastern Caribbean countries and the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Leading the sessions were facilitators from the University of Oslo, who are also the developers of the DHIS2 platform, sharing expert knowledge and practical insights with participants. Dr. Prabjot Singh, the advisor of health surveillance, disease prevention and control at PAHO Barbados, emphasized that the initiative forms part of PAHO's continued commitment to digital transformation in St. Lucia.
PAHO has been deeply involved in supporting the digital transformation of the health sector of St. Lucia for a while now. And during COVID, we've learned a lot of lessons of why this is so important. And going forward, it is the crux that we are making steps that the country is resilient to future shocks, whatever that might be. And in that perspective, we are currently supporting the country to do a platform, DHIS2, which is very commonly used across the world, mostly in African nation countries, but has not so frequently been used in the Caribbean countries. And just 3 years ago, we were just discussing where this DHIS2 platform could be useful, and today we have gotten deep into using it and analyzing it and moving forward. And that is something I think the country should feel proud of, that they are moving on such a fast pace and involving such a wide sector of health in this.
Information Systems Manager at the Health Management Information Unit, Giselle Jabaptiste Cadet, highlighted the importance of integrating the District Health Information Software into St. Lucia's broader health data framework.
So we have the platform called the DHIS2 platform, which we use to supplement our St. Lucia Health Information System, SLOIS. So what we do, we migrate all non-clinical functions to the DHIS2, as I mentioned, to complement our health information system. And currently the environmental health unit, they use it for the arbovirus and complaints modules. And we're also planning to put the cancer registry on that platform as well. So that capacity building workshop has really helped us, just to take the bull by the horn and do the work ourselves instead of depending on the consultant to put the visualizations and whatever we need on the platform for us. So now we have the in-house capacity, we could do that on our own.
Enzo Rossi, one of the training facilitators from the University of Oslo, explains the structure of the training, which was carefully designed to give participants both practical skills and analytical expertise.
The training started with the first 2 days where we looked at the workflows that the ministry was using for things like arbovirus and environmental health, establishment inspections and things like that. And we focused mostly on the data entry of things. So how to enter the data properly, new things they could be doing, and looking at how the workflows were going. And then for the last 3 days, we focused on analytics. That is how to get that data that these people are capturing into useful, actionable items that the ministry could use to improve the health situation in St. Lucia.
Team members from the Environmental Health Division, the Health Management Information Unit, and the Epidemiology Unit were among those who benefited from the capacity building workshop on the District Health Information Software DHIS2 platform. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, I am Onika McCoy reporting.
Students from the Sufra Youth Orchestra showcased their talents at a mini concert. Here's Genevieve Gonzague with more details.
The Soufrière Regional Development Foundation, SRDF, successfully hosted a 5-day summer music camp for members of the Soufrière Orchestra, culminating in an intimate mini-concert for parents and supporters. After just 4 months of practice, these talented young students took the stage to showcase their musical journey. Their dedication and passion shone brightly through every note played. Orchestra tutors Cornelius Simeon and Antonius Henry explained that the discipline, confidence, and passion seen as the students prepared for the mini-concert during the camp was remarkable.
I'm trying to contain my emotions here. The students have made us very proud because we started the summer workshop just for 1 week, Monday, and within the week we were able to establish the clarinet section did at least 4 nursery rhyme songs, and then we had a solo performance, saxophonist McKenna doing a wonder by Bob Marley, and there's the collective with the orchestra where they did This Old Man, which was very catchy, and it had everybody singing and rocking in the seats. I think that's a sign of good things to come.
I'm very proud of the students you saw today. From when we started to students, most students when we started didn't even know about most of the instruments. Although some of them did basic music at schools, but they still, in a lot of ways, somewhat lost in what music is, what it entails.
Parents in attendance expressed overwhelming gratitude for the program and immense pride in their children's musical skill.
When I came here today and I sat and I listened, I saw the way that each and every one of them played that instrument. I was so happy because I know he did not know anything much in music. He couldn't play the instrument, and to see him playing this instrument, it was marvelous. I must say thank you so much to SRDF. Thank you.
At first, the students had no idea how to hold the instruments. And now, for them to be able to perform the way they did today was a major achievement as far as I'm concerned. Having been there, coming every Tuesday and Saturday, seeing how they've worked, I think the tutors did a wonderful job. I mean, you cannot expect more. I think the initiative in itself is one that should be replicated throughout St. Lucia.
According to the Corporate Communications and Marketing Manager at the SRDF, Ms. Lovely St. Amy, the SRDF will continue to invest in youth.
We see youth development as being central to Soufrière's future and its continued development. I think today demonstrates what is possible when talent, hard work, and discipline meet with the right investment. We are so pleased to see the development of these young people. We're proud of them. We're eternally grateful to the instructors. They do what they do with passion, dedication, commitment. And we need to say a special thank you to the parents for seeing the merit in the program, ensuring that the students are here on time for rehearsals. And of course, we saw their support here today.
The showcase featured multiple performances, including a lively rendition of This Old Man by the full band, clarinet ensemble performing nursery rhymes, 2 clarinet solos, and a performance of Bob Marley's One Love on the tenor saxophone. Through initiatives like the Soufrière Orchestra, the SRDF continues to nurture young talent and create meaningful opportunities for personal growth while enriching the cultural fabric of Soufrière. For the Soufrière Regional Development Foundation, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who contributed to this production. the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communication officers across various government ministries. Thank you for watching on NTN Channel 122 and following the official social media platforms of the Government of Saint Lucia. I am Kishma Seri. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we continue tracking Saint Lucia's progress.